Homecoming week has finally arrived.
And we take a look behind the scenes of our nightly newscast. Stay tuned, Troy TrojanVision News starts now.
From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network, Troy, Alabama's International University, this is Troy TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision News for October 12th, 2015. I'm Deborah Bogart.
And I'm Jordan Elston. Thank you for joining us this evening. Saturday is Troy University's homecoming, and even though the football team will be battling it out on the field on Saturday, Troy University students will get a chance for some musical fun on Friday night. The University Activities Council will present a concert by hip-hop artist Volleyball Friday night in the Trojan Arena as a part of the homecoming activities. $20 student tickets are still available and will be on sale throughout the week. However, the UAC has decided to open up the concert to some surrounding colleges as well.
Oh, we are so excited. We're ready to get this concert on and going. The students are really excited. What we're doing differently now is we're going Wednesday. We're going to Auburn University, Alabama State, and AUM, and we're going to sell student tickets there also. So a lot of people are having a lot of feedback on social media like, yes, because we didn't have a way of, we don't want to buy $40 tickets. So we're going to go to those different schools and sell $20 tickets.
$20 student tickets for the Volleyball concert have to be purchased by Thursday. They can be purchased in the Trojan Center from 9 to 4. The day of the concert, the tickets will go up to $40.
15 years ago, Troy had a labyrinth on campus used by not only students but people all across the community. And now one of Troy's professors is wanting to revitalize the forgotten meditation point. Christy Henderson has the story.
A labyrinth is a meditative walking practice. Unlike mazes, a labyrinth is a single path in the shape of a circle. They have been used as a form of meditation since the 5th century BC, and believe it or not, Troy used to have their own labyrinth right in front of Sorrel Chapel, although it would be a little more difficult to find these days. And now Keith Cates is leading the revitalization of recreating the forgotten labyrinth for students and the community to enjoy again.
Dr. Pullen, who used to be the Dean of Arts and Sciences, got together with some friends, decided there needed to be a labyrinth here. Many labyrinths are based in landscape areas, and they built one just outside of Sorrel Chapel here in 2000. Unfortunately, it's fallen into disrepair, and now it's desperately in need of some love. We're going to get out here, we're going to clean it up, we're going to rebuild it. There's some parts that need to be repaired, and then we're hopefully going to give it back to the population of the community and the university for their use.
And when the Labyrinth project is complete, they say it will be the perfect place for students to study for midterms and finals.
As I'm told, apparently a lot of students used to use it right at midterm and right at finals, as you can imagine. It's a way to calm down, it's a way to refocus, it's a way to get out from the books for a moment, it's a way to find you and then get back to your work later with a clearer mind.
Despite this, Kate says that bringing new life to the labyrinth will not be an overnight process. Depending on the amount of volunteers, it's estimated to be finished within 6 months to a year.
15 years of leaves and trees falling on it has caused a little bit of damage. It's probably going to take us somewhere between 6 months and a year on Saturday mornings to get it done. We're in no hurry. That's not the point of this. It's a meditative practice and a reflective practice to do the restoration as much as it is to do the use of the labyrinth. If one person shows up, then one person works. If 20 or 30 show up, 20, 30 work. We're going to do a tremendous cleanup and then decide what needs to be repaired.
Christy Henderson, Troy TrojanVision News.
For anyone who is interested in helping out in this effort, they can learn more on the Facebook page Friends of the Labyrinth 2015. Well, it takes a lot of work to put on a nightly newscast like the one you see here.
That's right, Deborah, but it's all hard work behind the scenes, as you'll get a glimpse of right now.
Stay tuned, Troy TrojanVision News will start now.
Troy TrojanVision News is Troy University's television station, providing 3 completely student-run newscasts each day. The organization appeals to many journalism students that want to not only gain a degree, but also experience.
I'm a broadcast journalism major, and I know that you can get a degree in broadcast journalism without coming down here, but I wanted to make sure that I had the best resume tape possible and the most experience possible before I graduated and went out to get a real job.
I've gotten a lot of first-hand experience from working at TrojanVision. Not only am I learning how to anchor, I'm learning how to do the weather, I'm learning more about sports, I'm learning how to work the cameras on my own without any help.
It takes a lot of time and many people to produce one successful nightly newscast, but all the time spent together makes the TrojanVision team feel like one big happy family.
The one thing that I've enjoyed the most is the camaraderie and all the friends that I have made that will last a lifetime. We are all one big happy family, and I think that's the one thing that makes TrojanVision awesome is just us being friends and and having a blast.
And contrary to what you may see on screen, Troy TrojanVision News is not all business. Jordan Elston.
Did you tell them I was single?
Troy TrojanVision News. October 1st was actually TrojanVision's unofficial birthday. We have been on the air for 40 years.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. Researchers say a melon-headed whale that was euthanized after it was found beached in Gulf Shores suffered a severe respiratory infection. Researchers at the Dauphin Island Sea Lab's Alabama Marine Stranding Network announced today that they had performed the necropsy to determine what caused the animal to struggle to swim and breathe.
Authorities say an inmate serving 99 years has escaped from the Red Eagle Work Center in Alabama. The Alabama Department of Corrections says 57-year-old Charles Simmons escaped Saturday from the work center north of Montgomery.
A grand jury has indicted a DeKalb County man on charges of murder and kidnapping stemming from a fatal police chase. 29-year-old Franklin Lettle Blevins is charged in the death of 32-year-old Leanna Ivy. Authorities say Ivy was a passenger in the vehicle with Blevins.
Still to come on Troy TrojanVision News, the Trojan football team traveled over to Mississippi this weekend. Ryan Renfro has more in sports.
And Southwest Airlines has faced some technical difficulties this morning. Details after the break.
A computer glitch could make for another tough day of travel for Southwest Airlines passengers. I'm Don Champion at New York's LaGuardia Airport with the latest coming up.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
You can't text and pay attention to the world around you, and you definitely can't text and drive. Every year, deaths due to distracted and negligent driving are increasing. In fact, while drunk driving rates have dropped greatly, negligent driving fatalities have skyrocketed. Find out more at negligentdriving.com.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy TrojanVision News.
The Trojan football team fell to Mississippi State 45-17 on Saturday. By the end of the first half, the Trojans found themselves staring up out of a 38-0 hole. However, the Trojans seemed to come out guns blazing to start the second half, actually outscoring the Bulldogs. Even though the Trojans lost, head coach Neil Brown says the second half play was a matter of accepting responsibility and a challenge.
You know, I challenged them at halftime, and I told you this after the game. It wasn't a yelling match. It was something that I was disappointed in. Challenged them at the half to come back out and compete and play the way that we're supposed to play, the way that they've been trained to play.
One sophomore wide receiver explains what the halftime experience was like and how it motivated him and the rest of the team to pick things up in the second half.
He came in, he didn't like, get too angry. He was just like, this is on y'all. You just gotta focus up, man up, and finish the game. You don't want to be looked at like quitters, and that's what our goal was, to go out in the second half and not quit, and just go out and finish and show that we can play with whoever.
Despite the deficit, the Trojans came out in the second half and put up 17 points on the board, highlighted by one run in particular that captured everyone's attention.
On second down, they'll go handoff to Burks, and he spins out of trouble, breaks free. Stays on his feet. Now a foot race to the 30, to the 20. Burks cuts it back. He will head to the end zone. Touchdown, Troy.
And they stepped up, and that gives me hope moving forward. And I think that, and I really hope that looking back, that's going to be a pivotal moment in our season and in our program.
The Trojans return to conference play this weekend when they take on Idaho in the homecoming game Saturday at 2:30 in Veterans Memorial Stadium. Troy soccer returned home this weekend and took all 6 points from Friday and Sunday. William McCarthy has the highlights from Sunday's matchup.
It was 6 out of 6 for Troy soccer this weekend. The team swept the weekend, grabbing 6 points out of 6 after beating Texas State 4-1 on Friday and beating Appalachian State 3-0 on Sunday. In the first half on Sunday, it was all Troy, creating chances but couldn't find the back of the net. The biggest chance for Troy in the first half fell to Robin Ann Whitaker when a pass from Chelsea Williams came through the Mountaineer defense, giving Whitaker a one-on-one chance with the Mountaineer goalie. At the end of the first half, the score was 0-0. Troy had control of possession and had 7 shots on target than to Appalachian State's 4. Troy got off to a great start in the second half by creating more chances for a goal. In the 53rd minute, Troy broke the deadlock off a corner kick from Kristen Rendell and finding the head of Jasmine Farnbauer for the goal. It was the senior's first goal of the season. A minute later, Troy strikes again to make it 2-0 as Alyssa Jones scores from 30 yards out. 15 minutes left to go in the game. Troy seals the deal and took all 3 points as Alyssa Jones gets her second goal of the game, striking the ball just inside the 18-yard box, making the score 3-0 in favor of Troy. At the end of the game, it was 6 for 6. Troy soccer's on a 4-match win streak in conference play with a record of 4 wins and 1 loss, giving the Trojans 12 points in the Sun Belt Conference standings and in second place behind first place South Alabama. Head coach Jason Hamilton wasn't pleased with his team about the first half results, but was happy with how his team came out in the second half with more energy and creating more chances. He talks about how valuable this weekend was heading into the last bit of games in the season.
We knew this was going to be a tough weekend at home. 2 very good teams and 2 teams that were on the top half of the table. So we knew if we control our own fate here. So if we won both games this weekend, we would be in second place alone, and that's where we wanted to be. So now we've got to go down to Georgia Southern and Georgia State, and 2 teams who are, again, they're up there in the top 5 and teams that I would expect to finish there. So they're not going to be easy games. We just have to make sure we're prepared and then go out and execute our game plan. We should be in good shape.
William McCarthy, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
The team heads to Georgia this weekend where they will take on Georgia Southern on Friday at 7 p.m. and then play Georgia State on Sunday at 1 p.m. The Trojan volleyball team kept their win streak alive over the weekend with a pair of victories against the Sun Belt's Louisiana teams. Khadijah Torbert has the highlights from Friday's shutout victory over ULM.
The volleyball team took on the ULM Warhawks Friday night in Trojan Arena. Head coach Sonny Kirkpatrick says his team communicated well overall to get this sweep and is glad the win streak is still in motion.
We had some limited practice opportunities to try to be ready for tonight, and I'm really proud of our team for their mental preparation and for studying the game plan and knowing what we were trying to do. And I thought we did a really nice job of taking care of the ball on our side. And we always try to concentrate on our side, and when we do that, I think we're okay. I thought we played pretty well tonight. It was good to see stay on a little bit of a roll. Actually, the crowd and the band are amazing, and we can't thank them enough.
Netted balls, missed serves, and only 24 kills against Troy. ULM forced a lot of points for the Trojans with 19 errors, which were ultimately in Troy's favor.
I like to think we had something to do with some of their errors. Our errors, they definitely had stuff to do with that too, but it comes down to as long as we get a good quality first touch and we stay in system, our offenses can run pretty well. And I thought that we did a good job tonight after the first game. First game was kind of shaky, but I thought the second and third games we really did a nice job of taking care of our ball.
Feeding off the other opponent may not be a bad thing. It definitely earned the volleyball team a sweep tonight.
It was great to be aware of that, but also I feel like our energy was so big tonight, I would say, that we sucked some of their energy. So that helped us see the game more and control the game more for our advantage. We wanted to get done tonight because we have to prepare for tomorrow. So we really worked hard every point to make sure that we could rest tonight to be prepared for ULL tomorrow.
It took 4 sets on Saturday, but the Trojans were able to defeat the Raging Cajuns 3-1 on Saturday to complete the weekend sweep. Up next, the Trojans will take on Florida A&M tomorrow night in Trojan Arena. Tip-off is set for 6 p.m.